Hey guys! Hi. Previously on Fashion versus Function, really proud of that name, I did M4 steel using a mirror polished edge versus the same M4 steel on the same knife with a 600 grit finish. So a really smooth mirror polish edge versus a fairly standard sort of factory finished edge, I guess, at the same edge angle. M4 still cut better with the more coarse edge. Now I did fail to mention last time that the finish I'm using on the mirror finish is the max the KME will do. So 0.10 microns, which is 160,000 grit in stone sharpening equivalent. So that's the mirror edge that we're getting. I'm going to do the same thing again today. I'm going to do the max edge on my Spyderco Spidey Chef LC200N steel. This has a very nice mirror finish. This is a particularly sharp knife right now. It is, so 160,000, it's just so damn sharp. 160,000 versus 600 grit. This is a much different steel to M4. The thing about M4 is I started on that one because I was happy to put my mantra perhaps at risk as one of the first sharpening candidates using the new system, because I do like the knife but I don't love the knife. And also I had a second example of M4 come in as well, so I could, if I mucked it up I could use another one. So LC200N is kind of the same. This is actually my favourite knife though, the Spyderco Spidey Chef. I also have in the Caribbean in LC200N, but I'm reviewing this one. So I've already reviewed this one and I love this one, and it needed a nice polished edge anyway, so it just worked out well. So we're going to see how much rope it cuts now with this super well finished edge. And then we're going to get the KME out, put a 600 grit finish on it with the same angle. So it's 16 degrees right now, according to the Tormek angle card that I use. So between 17 and 16. At any rate, whatever the angle is, it will be repeated to the exact as it is now, just using a different finish. And we're going to see if that cuts for longer or shorter than what should be, well, it is a very nice edge right now, what should be a pretty decent result, I hope. Alrighty, let's get into it. We're cutting twisted sisal rope until it no longer slices the paper. Let's see how it does. Fashion or function, mirror edges on LC200N. Who knows? I don't. LC200N, 550 cuts with a high polished mirror edge against rope. So now we're going to take it to 600 grit. So right now 160,000 grit. You can see a reflection in it. We're going to take it to a much sort of more standard looking edge finish. We'll see how it does with a toothier edge formation, or more coarse. Well, let's bust that Lansky and see. Sorry, the KME and see. Sorry, I still look at the Lansky often, and I appreciate the hard work it did for me, but has been made a little bit obsolete. Alright, well there you go. So in this instance, the polished edge was both more pleasant to cut with, in terms of this knife at least. Maybe the edge was finer or something about it was, the whole process was easier with the finer edge on the LC200N than the more coarse edge. Neither of these results were bad results, of course. Like 50, 60 cuts is a lot of EDC use. That's 430 cuts with the coarse edge 600 grit on LC200N. Of course, it's about 100 or so less than the super high mirror polish was, which I mean does take probably another 20 minutes or so to put on the knife. But yeah, in terms of real world equations, excuse me. In terms of real world equations, real world use, 100 or so extra cuts of rope probably does equate to a fair little extra stopping between sharpening. So it seems with this steel there is something to the mirror polished edge. You do seem to get a boost of both performance and of edge retention. So LC200N, the structure of this steel, interesting, different to M4, which is a fairly often cited example of a toothy preferring steel, M4. LC200N, I was wondering which it would be. So this is mainly nitrogen forming the carbides in this one. Whole bunch of chromium in it, not too much carbon. Yeah, interesting steel. One of these sort of more futuristic steels coming out. This is a good one. This is one of my favourite steels, folks. It does a really good job. And yeah, coming out in a few more knives from Spyderco, which is nice too. So yeah, LC200N, my advice would be, if you're going to do the same edge angle, which this was, the same edge angle both times, I'd go with a mirror polish. Okay? Alright guys, have a nice night. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye now. Next time I reckon it'll be S30V. So sub for that, then 3V after that, then some 154cm, some VG10. We're gonna just keep going, I think. We're gonna keep going for a little bit. Alright guys, please keep in mind as well though, these tests are taking longer and longer each time. So that in total was almost 1,000 cuts just from this one test. So they may not be as frequent from this point onwards. Especially as I'm going to be doing the higher end steels, and that is because not even the money thing. The patrons are helping with the rope, which is cool, but just the hands. That second cut was particularly got a bit of cement mixer wrist at the moment, so I'll be taking it a little bit easy because I don't want to give myself a mischief just doing this, because I want to be able to do it for a long time, not a short time. Alright guys, see you in the next video. LC200N, it is function rather than fashion, the mirror polished edge. Good job. See you guys.